So this is Higher 2012 Paper 1 question 10, where we've got a square-based pyramid, which you can see in the diagram there. Let me move it around a bit. You get the feeling of 3 dimensions, and if we look at it directly from above, you can see the square on the base. So let's move it back to roughly where the diagram is in the question paper, and let's start putting in the names of the vertices. The whole pyramid is called P, Q, R, S, T, and some of these sides represent vectors. If we travel from vertex T to vertex S, that journey represents the vector F. There'll be lines underneath. Normally in textbooks vectors are printed in bold so that you know they're vectors, but it's very difficult to write in bold, so we put little lines under them to show that they're vectors. Traveling from vertex T to vertex Q, that represents the vector G, and vertex T to vertex P, that represents the vector H. So we have 3 different vectors represented by these 3 sides of the square-based pyramid, and the question asks us to express the journey from R to P, traveling from vertex R to vertex P, in terms of these other 3 journeys or vectors, in terms of F, G and H. So traveling from there, R, up this edge to P, we're wanting to express that and use these other 3 journeys. So we're not going to go the direct way, we'll go the scenic route. Let's travel from R to Q, and then from Q to T, and from T to P. So to do that, we'll just write the various lines down. Traveling from R to P, an alternative route then is traveling from R to Q, followed by Q to T, followed by T to P. And we can see what these QT represents. We know QT going from here to here. Ouch, I hit the arrow there, that hurt. That indicates a negative. If we travelled from T to Q going with the arrow, it represents G, but the opposite way. Remember the ouch, that gives you your negative. It hurts going against the arrow, so something has to go in. There's a negative to show that you went against the arrow. So travelling from Q to T is negative G. And T to P, that's with the arrow, so that just represents H. So the missing one is from R to Q. And remember, this is a square. It doesn't look like it on the diagram, but you'll recall when I moved this. Now this, let me try to do this again for you. Well, it'll look very, very odd because the writing won't move, but let's try it. There you go. And doing the opposite 2 sides of that square, they are equal and they are parallel, so they would represent the same vector. Let me try and put this back where we started, where it was. So this final journey that we're trying to work out from R to Q, it is identical from going from S ouch to T, negative because of going against the arrow, minus F. So from S to T against the arrow is minus F, exactly the same as travelling from R to Q. Opposite sides of this square are equal in length, parallel in direction. So this journey from R to Q represents the same journey as from S to T, and it's minus F. So minus F goes in there. So we've finally done it. Our P has been written in terms of F, G and H. And if you look at the four choices available, this will be choice B.